So, you want to be a voice actor? You want to make those horse noises in your microphone until you have a legion of fans willing to do your bidding and so you could take over the world with potatoes? You want to sacrifice your fans to the voice gods for immortality that lasts generations? Oh, you just want to do something in your spare time and learn how to eventually get better. Okay, cool. Hey, you guys, what's up? My name is PinkieRose, and I am a fan VA amateur singer for MLP fan content, and I'm here to give you guys 10 beginner tips to get into voice acting. Step 1, get inspired. The first part of doing anything creative is getting inspired to do it. I know, it sounds obvious, but coming up with an idea for something you want to do is practically essential to avoid burning out before you get started. With voice acting, you can either find stuff that you want to voice or write something about yourself. This is one of the easiest steps to get into voice acting. You have to want it in order to do it. Secondly, find your range. Your range is what your voice sounds like. Your range is where your voice can go. Ranges can differ for both men and women. For example, my voice is a soprano, so it's relatively high, while Vicodin's voice range is a tenor, which is lower than a soprano. Surprise, surprise! We've seen many voice actors who can go all across the ranges, and when you get more experience, feel free to Google where your voice is on the spectrum. It matters a little bit more when you're singing, but finding your range helps you figure out what kind of stuff you want to voice or what character you can voice. So if you have like a super low voice, don't be going for Pinkie Pie. It just doesn't work out that way. And if you have a super high voice, don't attempt to voice like Big Mac or Bulk Bicep or something. You want to start with your natural voice and build off of that. Once you mastered your natural voice, then you can start to move into roles that are higher or lower in your range. My best recommendation would be to focus less on what your range is and more on what sounds good with your voice. As a rule of thumb, deeper voices are better with mystical or older characters, while higher voices help with children or a more energetic character. Number 3. Work with what you have. A lot of reasons that people don't even try voice acting is because they don't have the equipment, and there are a number of people who have started with headset microphones and were still accepted into projects. I know when I started out voice acting, I didn't have a microphone and I didn't want to use my laptop microphone. So what I did, I started out with an iPhone microphone. I went into the voice recorder thing that's built in on every iPhone, and I pressed record, and then after that I would email the file to my email, convert it from MP4A to MP3, put it in Audacity, use noise removal, stuff like that, and I used that for a good year, and I gotten into a lot of projects and no one knew that I was using my phone the whole time. The 3 things that affect your voice recording is your room, your microphone, and where you're projecting your voice. Your room is one of the most important parts of voice acting. Simply put, the bigger the room, the more echo you will have in your recording. That's called room reverb. When you record something, the microphone captures a lot, and that includes your room because your voice bounces off on the wall and then it creates like echo. If you have like a really big room like me, what I do is that I record under a blanket. If you have like extra money, you could buy like noise removal foam and you could hot glue it to a box and put your microphone in there. Your microphone is the other part of your audio, and it's self-explanatory. The popular microphones for voice acting, if you have a few dollars, are a Snowball, Blue Yeti, or an AT2020. If you're going to use $60 on something, spend your money on a Samson CO1U. If you can't afford any of these, using a phone, maybe a gaming headset mic, or a webcam mic is possible. I still think you should use your phone. Your phone is much better. Finally, where you have your mic is very essential to how your voice is conveyed. The closer you are to your mic, the more you have to be careful with how loud you are. The recommended length that you should be from your mic is 6 to 8 inches. Basically, put your hand between you and the microphone, and that's the distance you should be at. And you should talk above your mic as opposed to right into it. Avoid popping or peaking your mic since there's not much you can do to save the line apart from re-recording it. Popping or puffing into your mic is when you accidentally accentuate the P, T, S, or F sounds in the line a little too much and it pops as a result. Some additional things you can buy would be a pop filter, which covers your mic and helps prevent it from popping. If you don't have money for one, there are numerous ways to make one yourself. Peaking usually happens when you are too loud near your microphone. Microphones captured audios in decibels, and there is a range of decibels for which it can capture the audio cleanly. Once you get past the range, the audio quality suffers. It usually happens when being too loud or when someone yells a line. So for me, being a Pinkie VA, when I need to shout a line, I would stand back a little bit or maybe turn the gain down. I have my gain all the way down now whenever I record, and it just makes it a lot easier to amplify it later on, and it prevents you from peaking less. Number 4, choose an audio program. Audacity is a free audio program that's used by most amateurs or experienced voice actors. Why? It's easy. It's used to record audio and edit it once you're done recording. You can use it for both Windows and Mac, and getting acquainted with the program is virtually painless. Another program that is popular, and if you can afford it, is Adobe Audition. You can look up tutorials of these programs so that you know how to use it once you find what you want to voice. There will be a few in the description. Number 5. Find something to voice. There's literally an endless amount of stuff that you could voice for, so don't be scared if you can't find anything. If you want to voice pony material, check EQD and DeviantArt to find comics, songs to cover, fanfics to read. While you most likely be getting into projects run by other people when you get a little more experience, this tip mainly focuses on solo stuff. If you don't have anything to voice, work on your own channel. Make yourself look good. It's like building a resume. Your channel is your resume. The more content you have on there, the better. But it has to be good content that people will look at and say, whoa, she's really good. While obviously you should find something that you like or want to voice, do keep in mind the other tip that we gave you. If what your voice acting looks difficult or requires a lot of acting, then perhaps you should bench it or ask other actors for advice. Number 6, know how to prepare your audio. All right. For this tip, we're assuming that you're already using Audacity. All of those buttons are self-explanatory. You're using the record button to record. Before you record your lines, have 10 seconds of silence that will be later used for noise removal. These are a few ways that you can record. Either press record on Audacity and do your lines without stopping the recording, and when you're finished, you can keep the takes that you like and use those for your project. The other option is to record and stop recording whenever you mess up, which can be a lot. That way you can stay organized with what you voice correctly, and you could have a separate windows for bloopers. Fans usually love bloopers if they're funny. When you're done doing all your lines, everything that you do afterwards is called post-production. The general steps that you do to finalize lines is as following. Highlight the silence that you previously recorded and go to noise removal. Click Get Noise Profile. What this does is tells Audacity what your white noise sounds like so that it can take that noise out of your recording. Your audio will be cleaner as a result. Here's the difference between a line with and without noise removal.
Hello, this is an audio track. Hello, this is an audio track.
Afterwards, you want to highlight everything except your silence and use the compressor, which places your audio within a certain range. Afterwards, use the equalizer, which keeps your audio from being too loud while in that certain range. Do keep in mind that once you start auditioning for projects, the project leader might not want you to touch your audio at all since they can engineer it to their needs. Long story short, when you do projects and they're trying to mix and incorporate everyone's audio so that they're balanced and consistent, they don't want you to mess with your audio. They want the raw audio. And the best audio format to export in Audacity would be WAV files or MP3. Number 7, research voices and acting. Well, duh, it's called voice acting, not voice talking. Ask anyone in the business and they will agree that your voice doesn't matter as much if you can act. If you are looking to voice canon characters in the fandom, research how they talk, or if they are in the media that doesn't have a voice, figure out what type of character they are. A perfect example is Nowaking, who came up with a party voice for Vinyl Scratch, and she dominated projects for years. Everyone wants her as Vinyl, a character that is silent to this day. Even if you do or don't want to voice canon characters, research acting. Your voice is the only thing that matters in voice acting, and if you can show it consistently, the projects will come to you. Like I said, build your resume. Number 8, learn how to audition. So, you try doing your own projects and want to collaborate with other people. Well, there are a few things that you need to have done on your side before you start. A lot of people run into projects in different ways, but they usually have an audition page that looks something like this. Ooh! It will list the characters available, what vocal range they are in, even though sometimes people don't do it. If people have like a casting call and they're like, I need the main 6, they're not going to tell you what range it is. They're just going to assume you know what it is because you're imitating a character. Whereas if you're auditioning for more original characters, they will give you their vocal range, hopefully a picture of the character and the personality of the character, and using those information, you need to decide what you think the character should sound like, and then you send that in, and if the director likes what you did with the character voice for the description, then they'll pick you. Usually they explain how they want lines to be sent in either by mail or being posted to YouTube. One thing that helps project leaders is if you have a voice reel. A voice reel is a collection of all the voices that you are able to do. For example, of roles that you've already been into reacting the lines from the show, you want every possible voice in the video, while also keeping it less than a few minutes. No one wants to listen to a very, 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 very long video. While you'll most likely be acting out the audition roles shown, you can also link your voice reels for an extra few chances at the role, especially if your voice reel has voices that the project manager might not need yet, but will in the future. Record your audition line in the same format as tip number 6 and send them as requested. Remember that people usually prefer MP3 formats for audition and WAV for finalized lines. Remember to be respectful to the project leader as well as others that submit their audition. They are not obligated to give you any feedback since they can be sorting through dozens of auditions for just one character. Be polite when talking to other voice actors or members of the project. I've seen projects fail time and time again due to drama or people not doing their work or other stuff. Once you're assigned to a role, keep up with deadlines and submission standards for your project. The more professional you are in projects, the more you are given. Because trust me, it's like a imaginary Yelp review. When you do well on a project, people are going to recommend you more for other projects. And if you're nice, that helps too. Because let's be honest, no one wants to work with someone who's mean or rude or disrespectful or has an attitude. That's not fun. There's a reason why people do voice acting or do freelance voice acting, because it's fun and they want to meet friends and new people, and no one wants to be friends with someone mean. Making friends is a really good way to get yourself out there, because sometimes there are projects that need a certain character, and if your friend's in there, your friends could be like, oh, I know this person. They do a really good blank, blank, blank. And then they show them your channel and bada bing, bada boom, you got the role. Number 9, learn how to collaborate. Let's say you want to put together a project or you're doing a comic dub and you can't do a particular voice. This is where collaborations come in. Assume that you don't know the person that you want for your project. Collaborations help bring some extra eyes to your project, especially if you're both showcasing each other's YouTube channel at the end of the video. Just like with tip number 8, the information that you have for possible auditions need to be clear. Always have a deadline, the audition line, and where to contact you for the audition. Just like with auditions, you can show that you're a professional project leader. You'll amass more friends and fans with each collaborations. Collaborations is one of the easiest ways to get more subscribers and fans of your content. And lastly, have fun and keep trying. The point of voice acting is to keep improving. Whether you intend to turn this into a career or do it during your spare time, you'll get better the more you try and research. You're going to be denied from projects, let's be honest. You don't get everything in life. You're going to send in lines for projects that get nowhere, and you might have to recast people if real life or if you can't get a hold of the person you cast. This all comes with voice acting, and you have to remain positive. Feel free to take a break if you feel like you're burning out, but keep in mind that signing up for projects is promising that you will keep up with deadlines. If you want to audition for non-pony projects, try other places. Check out Voice Acting Club, Voice Acting Alliance, and other sites such as Newground, Voice Acting Forum. As you improve, you can upgrade your microphone, reach out for more people, for more ambitious projects, and if you want, attend voice acting workshops and learn how to become a professional. If you put your mind to it and want to improve, even you could become the next Tara Strong or Nolan North. Good luck to everyone! I hope to see you on EQD very soon.
And those were 10 tips to get you into voice acting. I'd like to give a very special thanks to PinkieRose for providing her voice and tips for this video. If you'd like to see more of her stuff, check out her YouTube channel right here and give it a subscribe. Make sure to like this video and leave any additional tips that you all have acquired through the years in the comments. Thank you very much for watching, and good luck with your horse noises. ABagOVicodin out.